Hi, my name is Ricardo Marino, and this is my first time as a delegate at the 79th UE National Convention. And it's been a great learning experience for me, as every time I come to a convention or a workshop that I try and learn as much as I can, so that way I can bring it back to my local. What really stood out to me is the workshop that I had on building union power. That's something that I take very seriously, and I'd like to bring that back to my local and build on that with everyone there. So it's been a great time, and I've learned a lot from a lot of people. And it has been great to talk to other new delegates and even existing and longstanding members of the UE. Every time that I talk to somebody, it's a different story, which is nice. And getting to meet with grad locals and people in manufacturing and people in the food industry and everyone that come together to make our unit, it's really shown that it's just more than when I wake up and go to work in my shop, my union. It shows that it's nationwide and with everybody else there, and everyone showing the same support and love to everyone. So it's always great to see that.
Hello, I'm Tina Barnes from UE 506 in Erie, Pennsylvania. This is my first time coming to a convention. Very different, very informative. I've been a union steward over 22 years, and I thought I knew everything. I've learned so much. I never knew, I always heard about delegates going to conventions. I'll hear every now and then the president or vice president, once in a while somebody will come and say something about it. When I go back, I'm gonna definitely, me being a steward, I'm gonna definitely pass on the knowledge that I've heard. Workshops, very incredible. We have something like that, but this is beautiful for whoever don't have it at their local. Would I come back? Yes. How long the meetings are? Whew, they're kind of long, but I enjoyed myself. The city's beautiful. I did not know it was this many locals. Hearing their stories, I had no knowledge of. Just come, experience, meeting people. I actually even got phone numbers. I'm gonna invite and see if when they come, they could come to our union hall. And I like the women. Woo. Well, we opened up our women session there. Coming here and I'm seeing presidents, 3-year presidents, and presidents in Chicago. I said, oh. You guys have to come and check it out.
Hey, I'm Paul, Stanford 1043. This is my first time ever at a UE convention, and I have to say, I've had a lot of fun. I've learned a lot, and most importantly, I've learned that there's just so much stuff that people bring and they just give it out. It's honestly blowing my mind. But the real thing that they give out here is knowledge. Knowledge of how to be a union organizer, and more importantly, knowledge of how UE works. I don't really have that sort of background where it comes from break and file unionism. In fact, I didn't know anything about it. So getting to be here and hearing people's stories about how they form their union, about how they drive their union, really brings an interesting perspective that I hope I can bring back over to Stanford and hopefully make our union even more kick-ass than it already is.
My name is Kayla Collett. My local is 728. I work at KCC in Williamsburg, Kentucky. I've been in the union since we've organized in early 2020, but I just recently became a steward. I'm sorry, I became a chief steward. I just got sworn in April, so I've been a chief steward for about 4 months. And it's been crazy because, came back into office, a million problems. But either way, I'm also a first-time delegate. I had no idea what to expect out of this convention. It's not that my comrades didn't prepare me necessarily, but I don't know if there was like a good way to prepare me. I didn't know what to expect, but everybody has been really, really, really welcoming. I don't think I've ran into one rude person. I don't think I've had an issue with anyone being unhelpful. It's just been really great. And it's been amazing to be around so many strong-willed, passionate people. I'm not used to being in a room with 100+ people who really believe in the union. And that's been really, really great. I don't like being away from home. I do miss my home, but I wouldn't have not come here because this has been really wonderful, like truly.
Hi, I'm Tanya Bowman, UE Local 506 out of Erie, Pennsylvania. I'm a first-time delegate, and I've taken a lot from this experience. It was a little more emotional than I expected, hearing all the different stories and the fights that our other locals are dealing with. And for me, it was just humbling to hear about the women's movement and how we're fighting so strong for what we all deserve. I hope to come back, and I'm excited to take a lot of this back to our local and help build our membership there with strong women which is something that our local is fighting hard to deal with right now. So starting a women's committee was something that was very dear to my heart. And so that's what I'm hoping to take back.
Hey, y'all. Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? My name is Vanessa Jones. I am from local UE 506. And it's an honor to be here to represent 506, to learn the ins and outs of how everything is done from the beginning to the end, to see how the new students and all the new unions are coming together to work for the rights of each and every single last one of us. And that's what this union is about, making sure we're one. We got to be on one accord, because that's what we are. We're one union. And I appreciate everything and everybody who gave me this opportunity to be here. Keep up the good work, UE. We're doing an awesome job and making sure we are educated, and I appreciate that.
My name is John Hutchinson, and I'm a member of Local 1105, where I serve as the General Secretary. It is my pleasure and privilege to be serving this year as a delegate to the UE National Convention. I became an organizer for the union on my third day of orientation to my PhD program. The ongoing fight for the union at the University of Minnesota was a huge deal for me because I believe that all grad students need a union. Coming to the convention has been a place to really learn and reflect on the values of UE, but also on the future that I can have a chance to take part in. As a first-time delegate, it is hard to find a space to share your voice and speak not just for yourself, but for your members. I've found the chance to find my voice and to say what I think matters and to really help shape the future of not just my local, but UE as a whole. Through the workshops at this convention, I have learned so much that I'm going to be taking back to my local, and I know it's going to make us stronger. I'm incredibly inspired and motivated by the people I have spent these last few days with, and I cannot wait to see what we are all going to do next.
I'm Julius Thomas, a first-time delegate here at the UE 79th National Convention. I didn't really have too many expectations coming into the convention, but being here, it's felt very empowering. It's been a really informative experience, and it's honestly inspiring. From listening to getting to hear the mayor of Chicago speak, Bernie Sanders coming in, all the speakers really made me feel like it gave me a little bit more of a sense of hope, dealing with some of the issues that we're dealing today, of course, with things going backwards with this current administration. It felt really empowering also to be able to really be a part of it. I didn't know too much about how the convention works, so I didn't realize how much I would be involved in the processes here, but felt really involved and really empowered to be involved in part of, voting on resolutions, speaking up in support of resolutions, and being a part of the committees that help, come up with those. It was a really empowering experience. Anybody who is interested in coming to a national convention, I would really encourage them to do so, because just working day to day, dealing with your local shop or wherever you're at, sometimes you don't really understand how, like, the bigger picture. And this really kind of brought the bigger picture more into focus, really reminded me that there's a class struggle that we're in together, and it made me feel hopeful, because I really felt like I got to feel the strength of the UE here at this convention. And it made me feel like I wanted to be a part of it in the future.